calculations for investment properties require calculation of the net operating income. So to determine the net operating income, or NOI, of an income-producing property, we do this. We take the potential gross income minus the vacancies and credit loss, and we come up with an effective gross income. The effective gross income minus the annual operating expenses, and we'll come up with the annual net operating income, or annual NOI. For example, an office building produces $132,600 of effective gross income. If the annual expenses are $30,600, then the net operating income is $102,000. The effective gross income minus the annual expenses equals the net operating income. When we're calculating capitalization rate or net operating income or the value of the property, we can use some useful formulas. So net operating income divided by the capitalization rate or rate of return equals value. Value times the rate of return equals the net operating income, and net operating income divided by value equals the rate of return, or cap rate. The capitalization rate is the estimated rate of return, or yield, that an investor will demand. The value of property can be determined by dividing the net operating income by the capitalization rate. If you want to find the value, find the net operating income and divide that by the capitalization rate. So in the previous example, if the capitalization rate is 8.5%, the value of the property will be $1,200,000. The net operating income is $102,000 divided by the capitalization rate, and we come up with a value of $1,200,000. Net operating income divided by cap rate equals value. And we can also use that same formula if we want to calculate the monthly net operating income. For example, if an investor spends $335,000 for a property, that's the value. And that property should produce a 9% rate of return, that's the cap rate. What will the net operating income be? Well, we take the value, $335,000, times the cap rate, 9%, and we come up with an annual net operating income of $30,150. $335,000 times 9% gives us an annual net operating income of $30,150. And then we take that annual net operating income, and to find a monthly net operating income, we simply divide it by 12. $30,150 net operating income divided by 12 gives us a monthly net operating income of $2,512.50. That's our monthly net operating income. A GRM, or gross rent multiplier, is handy when calculating value too. So appraisers will sometimes use a gross rent multiplier or gross income multiplier to calculate value. Now, the gross rent multiplier is the sales price divided by gross monthly income. And the gross income multiplier is the sales price divided by gross monthly rent. For example, if a home recently sold for $155,000, that's the value, and its monthly rental income was $1,250, the gross rent multiplier would be 124 because we take the value divided by the monthly rental income, 155,000 divided by 1,250, and we come up with a gross rent multiplier of 124. When you are calculating tax liability for investment property, always remember to advise your property owner to consult a tax attorney or CPA to get the best advice. Capital gain is the difference between the adjusted basis of a property and the net sales price. And we calculate the net sales price by taking the sale price minus real estate commissions and closing costs, and we come up with the net sale price. The adjusted basis is the basis, or the original cost, plus the cost of the improvements. We can find the capital gain, the total capital gain, by taking the net sale price minus the adjusted basis. For example, some time ago, an investor purchased a single-family home as a rental property for $95,000. The investor sells the property for $200,000 after making $5,000 of improvements. The investor will pay a broker's commission of 7%, and the closing costs will be $800. How do we calculate the capital gain? Okay, here's what we do. We take the sales price of the house, the actual sales price, less the amount of the commission, which is 7%, which is $14,000, minus the total closing costs, which is $800, and we come up with a net sales price of $185,200. Take that net sales price, $185,200, minus $100,000, which is $95,000 for the original cost plus $5,000 improvements, and we'll come up with a capital gain of $85,200. $185,200 is the net sales price, less the adjusted basis, which was the 95 plus the 5 of 100,000, and we come up with a capital gain of $85,200. Adjusted basis is the investor's acquisition cost plus the cost of physical improvements minus the amount of any depreciation claimed as a tax deduction. So it's the dollar amount that he has into the property, his costs plus his cost of improvements, minus the amount of any depreciation he's claimed as a tax deduction. Losses from the sale of a real estate investment may be deductible. Tax credits are available for the renovation of older buildings, low-income housing, and historic properties.